It's bright yellow.
No, it shouldn't be.
I can't miss you. Holy shit.
Here comes the sunshine. There's one bright spot.
Did you hear it?
Also, when you go check your email, you will have my email address. Did you have Denise put that on the website?
Okay. Well, I'll have to get a hold of the gal that takes care of the website. Yeah, it's
Denise's office, something coming in their office.
yeah, because I haven't changed, but Rosie's name on my email and Nancy, I think.
Your name is that.
Okay.
That's where it's sent to you.
Tell me what. That's what's before you guys, that's where you send the agenda.
Because that's what's published on the website.
So.
We got to change it. That address is just for election.
Here we go. That's what she told me when I traded her to her.
Yeah, you like your email all the time.
The nice thing about that is it's a state law, and if they wanted to look at it, any of the employees, if there's something illegal going on, all they have to do is hit a button and they can look at everything else that's doing.
That's what she told me to.
And it needs the reason they want it on a different address, so we all have access to it, that other account we have access to it. So that way the whole board can stay informed when there's something going on. We need to all have like a password, a common password or something.
Okay, I call the meeting to order. Let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First thing is the clerk's report. We don't need to just by obvious that we're here.
Everybody has a copy of the minutes from last month, or excuse me, the March 26th meeting.
This is the annual meeting. We don't approve this until next annual meeting. We gotta have the last meeting.
My mistake. March 17th. I'll just read it briefly. Present Ken, Lori, Rodney, and Randy. Pledge of Allegiance. Rodney Missouri moved, seconded by Brown, to accept minutes of 121. It was all carried. Finance, transactions, and accounts payable reports presented. Previous balance of funds, general, $97,748.08. Roads, $20.83. Fire, $73,461.33. Liquor, $1639.27. All deposits, $51,710.85. All payments made, $32,792.52. 317.16 fund balances, general 99,214.86. Roads, $12,744.99. Fire, $78,188.72. Liquor, $1639.27. Rod Missouri moved, seconded by Shooty, to pay bills presented in routine bills. Carried. Planning Commission, Brown reported commission discussed tower zoning and the double wide on Germania Road, trying to contact owner. Zoning Administrator Keith Mitchell reported 3 new home permits request and a couple of small items. Rod Missouri requested permits to be filed with clerk. Board of Review, Keith Mitchell reported went well, 8 petitions filed. Unfinished business, BS&A software, Shooting moved, seconded by Lori Missouri, to purchase BS&A software and annual service fee. Carried. GSI mapping discussed. Brown moved, seconded by Rodney Missouri, to table GSI mapping for annual meeting. Carried. New business, budget amendments proposed, discussed. Expected revenues and expenses through the end of the fiscal year. Rod Missouri moved, seconded by Lori Missouri, to amend budget as presented. All ayes. All ayes. Carried. Brine, 3 bids received, 1 from Michigan Chloride, $314 per mile, double spread. Rooney Contracting, $355 per mile, double spread. Wilkinson's, $300 per mile, double spread. Mark By of Road Commission gave input and answered questions. Brown requested brine content numbers for the annual meeting. Roads discussed. Supervisor readdressed county proposal to gravel 6.1 miles per year in rotation. Suggested start with Gilbert Road 3 miles and then patch where necessary. Approximately $27,000 cost. Cost and use the road millage funds. Mark By gave input and answered questions. Rod Missouri moved, seconded by Lori Missouri, to put road plan into the budget. Carried. Rod Missouri addressed the master plan and a community planner. Discussed summons served on the township prior to meeting Winters versus Greenleaf. Public comment. Judy Keller, Dawn Quinn, Ken Osentoski about roads, Don Ball, attorney fees, Bernadette Kane, Brine, Norm Parker, buildings, Jerry Cleveland, Christina Gibbard, master plan. Adjourned, moved by Rod Missouri, seconded by Shooty, to adjourn, carried at 9:04. Respectfully submitted, Clerk Lori Missouri.
Put a motion on the floor to pass the meeting, the minutes as read.
Okay, real quick.
Yeah. And for anybody out there in the audience that has the copy of this, please write on it draft. That has not been approved, so that's not a actual that, or turn it back in because they're not have been approved.
motion to accept the minutes.
Alrighty. I just need a second, that's all.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Rodney, you made the motion?
Yep. You clerk's report, all pretty much finished? Okay. Treasury report.
Okay, we've got 3 accounts with National. General fund current today is $97,509.59. The road account current today is $12,746.04. And the fire account current today is $72,482.58. And one account at Chemical Bank with 10 cents. That's the tax account.
Okay. Planning Commission report?
Okay, we've got several things here. I see a lot of them are on the agenda, but I'll address the things that aren't. The property on Germania Road, we discussed that. We think that problem's gonna take care of itself.
I heard a little more about that, so I agree with you.
There was a complaint on here in Line Road about too many dogs. We'll be addressing that at the next meeting.
Okay.
The property on Van Dyke I see is on the agenda. The road brining, we have a recommendation, that's on the agenda. We need to address Robinson Road. We're getting pressured by the road commission to do something with that. Zoning ordinance. We voted to move forward, send it to the board. Get the board's opinion on where we go from here. And the GIS mapping I see is on the agenda.
Okay, with the, finish up the planning commission, Brian Wilkinson was, what the planning commission came up with?
Planning commission recommends going with Wilkinson, a double pass, one application, and potentially getting by without a second application. That was what the planning commission recommended.
With that being said, would I put a motion on the floor to approve Wilkinson for Brian for the recommendations of the planning commission at the way they specified it?
I second that.
You second that? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
None? You don't?
All opposed? Aye.
Okay. I will call Wilkinson tomorrow and let them know. Can you give me how you have that written so I can read it that way to her?
Just double pass.
Double pass, one application for now and by a phone, via phone
Optional
call.
on the phone.
A second pass.
The second pass.
All right, I can handle that. Roads, our Robinson Road, what has the road commission?
They're urging us to do something with that road. Dairy farm there had quite a time. It was nearly impassable this spring, and he's willing to pitch in some money on it. And would like us to address building that, but
Maybe
I'm not sure we have the funds to do it
I
right
will
now.
talk with Aaron and Fonzie, because at one time they had offered to share cost on that. I don't know if he still has that option on the table or not.
So,
I guess I'd investigate that.
Yeah, to see if we can get any help we can get on that would be.
It's probably the way we can afford it, maybe we pay for half of it.
And you will get hold of Rathmore Dairy to see what they're sharing.
Well, Aaron LaFonzi had brought what Rathmore was bringing to the table when he called me last time.
You know, but it might not hurt for you to call Rathmore Dairy yourself.
Yep, I could.
Because it's, now we're talking about our miles, and Chad's a very reasonable person, who knows?
Yeah,
If they pony up a little bit more, he ponies up a little bit more.
What kind of money was he talking, like 20% or something like that, or?
Willing to pay 15,000 on that.
15,000.
The estimate on it's 92,000 our share. So,
15%.
The GIS mapping, we want to discuss that some more?
we, Planning Commission recommends at this time, in an effort to save a little money, not moving forward with the GIS mapping and just get an updated plat map. We desperately need an updated plat map for the zoning to
Yep.
move forward.
All the commercial,
And we recommend just getting an updated plat map at the time.
and that's gonna reflect the master plan and our zoning, new zoning or our old zoning?
While our zoning, we're looking to get approved here.
Okay. Is that on?
That's it on the GIS mapping. That was a recommendation. Hold off on that for the time.
Now, on your discussion with the incident on here in Line Road, the amount of dogs there, I went by, they were way out of compliance. Because the way I read our zoning is they're only allowed up to 3 dogs. If you have 4 or more dogs, then you need to have a kennel license. And
We're looking into that right now, whether or not they do have a kennel license. See, them dogs were taken out of there and then returned, so we gotta be real careful how we proceed. We'll have more information to work with and we'll deal with that at the next planning commission meeting.
Because
Are
that's,
we gonna make a vote on the GIS mapping? It's on the agenda.
well, it's not really, we're just, we'll have to maybe vote the table until further date.
Well, why don't we see if we can get a new plat map coming anyway? You said, Judy, at one time you knew where you could.
When I checked on, I want to say it was like $60, and it was about that size.
I'm gonna make a motion, we go ahead and purchase a new plat map.
Okay.
I second that.
All in favor of doing a new plat map?
I
Nay. I would like to see the GIS map because it would help Todd and also the planning commission.
But I think we need to be
In
a little
due
bit
time,
wise.
we
In
will.
due time, but I think right now we need to be wise in
Nobody's
what we
against it,
spend.
we're just in an effort to try to.
think there's bigger things on the plate right now.
How many yays do I have for that?
Or
For
Okay.
do roll call and then we can do the difference.
Okay, Kenny,
Yea.
Rosie,
Yea.
Rodney,
Nay.
Randy,
yes.
Judy, yes. Do you want me to research and order that and get it like I did before?
Well, we have to, the planning commission's gonna have to map everything out to where all the different commercial properties are and everything before you get one.
Check in and see if it can be made up, color coded like we need.
Okay,
If it can be made that way, we need to make sure we get
okay,
that precisely right.
Right.
Yep,
Right.
and then,
okay.
then have bring a price to the board so we can approve that.
Well, I know last year it was $60.
Okay, you all set with your planning commission report? Zoning administrator report?
Everything's going fine.
Okay, what about Mr. Liseski?
Pardon me?
Mr. Liseski?
Yeah.
Okay, I looked at Mr. Liseski's property and his foundation is still there. And from what I can see and reading is that we cannot deny him rebuilding on, because his foundation is there. If we did deny him, we would be where we allowed Mr. Bartnick to rebuild on his same foundation. We allowed Smooth Tech to do on his foundation. So as long as he's building on the same foundation and then gets approval for the addition on there, he should have we shouldn't have to do a zoning board of appeal and go through all that. Because by law, he can rebuild on the same foundation.
He has his paperwork here today.
Okay.
For you to sign.
All right.
I'm not signing. Because the law says 150 feet, and I cannot go against what it says.
That's on a new build, not on the existing foundation is still there.
I can't go against what the zoning ordinance says. The Board of Appeals would instantly approve it. And that's what it says right at the bottom of that paper, is where it goes.
Do you have any dimensions?
You also stated that no part of the new construction is going to be any closer, right?
Any closer, right?
That would be, yeah, he wouldn't want to
Is
go
that
closer to
160?
53.
No.
Believe me.
It's 116 to the front of the footing there. The existing shed is at 126 feet off the road, and the addition's going to be off the backside of the house, so it doesn't come any closer than the 116 feet.
The fact that you're going larger than the original foundation
Right, that's where he's
needs an approval.
needs a variance approval.
Okay, and either way, either you gotta get approval right from the get-go, or you gotta get approval from the zoning board of appeals for the addition. Either,
Well, it's a variance, because he's gonna get a permit to rebuild on his current foundation, and then he needs a variance because he's putting an addition on. That's what Mr. Bartnick would have needed to do the same thing if he went on the same footprint of his old building, so he just got a permit. But if he wanted to add on, he would have had to get a variance.
it makes no difference to me. If you wanna sign the permit, go right ahead and have at it.
I would like to see a little better drawing than that, but
I think the other,
Keith, you get that underneath
the other people get around that.
Today,
Let's have better.
All right. Well, so while that's going on, I'm going to. Same.
It's 116 feet road.
All right, let's see.
It's 116.
Fred, could you
Yeah.
do a little better drawing with showing the existing footprint and
Yep.
the new, with the more square footage
Okay.
you're opposing, or
Trying to add on.
applying for
I
it?
proposed.
Opposed. Old business, you guys got copies, this is Langenberg versus Greenleaf County. Mr. Churchill got a hold of me that Mr. Langenberg's attorney got a hold of him.
That's what they want us on.
This is attaches a motion of early default judgment.
That's not early, that's entry of
Or
default.
entry of default judgment. They're asking for attorney fees and costs of $2,916.95 and punitive damage of $500 for a total of $3,416.95. I talked with Mr. Churchill and we did a little, called back and talked to him. And they came back with a settlement. They had offered to settle for $2,000 in attorney fees and $161 in cost for a total of $2,161.75. And Mr. Churchill recommends that we have a settlement for that sum. So I agree with them because if we went to fight that one, it would probably be another $5,000 in attorney fees, so
Ain't worth it.
it ain't worth it.
What's the reason for this?
This is when the previous supervisor did not fulfill a FOIL request. And then when I became supervisor, I fulfilled it, and this is what they are suing us for because it was not done initially. So I put a motion on the table to pay the $2,161.75 for the Langenberg.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ken, was that an aye?
Ken was an aye?
Yes. So we will need to,
Move on from that.
we'll need to have a check written to Mr. Langenberg's attorney. And go from there.
So Rosie and I can do that then as soon as we can.
Yes, right.
Okay.
And let me know, I'll call Mr. Churchill and get the name and address that needs to be written out to. It'll have to be Mr. Langenberg's attorney, I believe, is where it'll have to go.
Just text me that then.
Okay, I will, yeah. Okay.
Okay, some other old business, the audit,
No, we-
status of the audit, we do have the paperwork
Yeah,
for the audit.
I gave Judy the paperwork for the audit, it came in the mail, and I just gave it to her this evening.
Yeah, I just got it tonight, so Rosie and I will be checking into that and working with Angie Burnett from Anderson, Tucky, Bernhardt. That is a cost of, you said
$2,900 approximately. So we need to, if we wanna, we've got a choice now if we wanted to go find somebody else, or we gotta approve using our current one. And I propose that we approve the $2,900 and use our current one and continue on.
Yeah, they have all of our,
Second, all in favor of using our current auditor?
Yep, aye.
Okay, that motion's carried.
can you second it, right?
Yep.
Man, that's not fun, fast. Okay, programming, other business, okay, so we got all that all taken care of.
New business, I've got the FOIA appeal from Bernadette King. And so she has FOIA'd for some documents, and the one portion, she received some of them, but the one portion that said was date and reason for the leading body if different than term. And on her initial one, and that was denied. And on her second one, she wrote, date and reason for planning commission, leave and body if different than term. And the reasons for the appeal, the township, I can't even read the writing. Read Bernadette's writing.
The township should have the date of the member's resignation, verbal or written, or the date that the position was determined to be vacant, or the date that any position was discontinued and the rationale for the discontinuation.
This is pertaining to what?
Planning commission.
Planning commission? Okay.
Yeah. And what that comes down to is that document does not exist. So the reason for denial is the reason for documents were denied by the township is because they do not exist. A public body is not required to create a document that does not already exist pursuant MCL 15-233. The board, we have three options. One, reverse the denial, uphold the denial, or reverse in part and uphold in part. I recommend that the township shall uphold the denial for the following reasons. Mrs. King did not request an existing document per MCL 15-233. Provides the public body is not required to create a record that does not already exist.
So there was, let me understand this in there, so there was nowhere in the records then that showed when the planning commission members were put on?
And that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, the document she wants does not exist. The information probably does exist, but it would be in different things that she would have to FOIA for, or she would have to,
So because she doesn't know the name of the document,
well,
it was denied.
it's several documents, so it would be, you know, she's already FOIA'd for most of them, she's got most of the information already, it was given to her already, but she would have to read through the minutes, and it's all in the meeting minutes. So you gotta take your time and research it. But she didn't, you know, she requested a document that didn't exist, so that's why she didn't get it. Bottom line.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
The clerk is the FOIA
Or-
compliance officer. Should the clerk not be handling this?
Well, yes, because this is coming technically from the previous clerk. We're in transition. So now this will get, what it does is when Bernadette did she filed a appeal, and the appeal comes to the supervisor. So then I got read through some of the stuff, and then the previous clerk and FOIA officer gave me the laws and everything to read, and that's what it says. That's what the law says, that's what we follow. So,
Do you know for sure that the information she's trying to obtain has been provided to her? Or does she specifically
well,
have those minutes for sure?
she, from what I read, that the stuff that she's, on her original request was, she requested the minutes from all the planning commission boards and with their terms. So she would have to read all those minutes and get the dates that she wants out of those minutes.
Were all the planning commission minutes, have they been submitted and were they?
All the ones she requested, everything was except for that document that did not exist. Everything else she did receive.
But she's got minutes from all the planning commission meetings.
Yep, all the ones that she requested, so.
But do you know if that was specifically in the minutes though? Where the vacancy and the vacancy was stated?
That, or when they did get put into term, then their term got put in and how long of term they was. So that some of them she might have to go back multiple years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years.
Right, but we've had a few new ones leave. Was it in the minutes that they have left at this meeting? They announced their resignation, so that's in there.
That would be in our minutes for this board. It should have been in those because we read
Did Bernadette
Kathy's letter.
request those minutes also?
I don't know, I didn't go through that portion of it because that would have been to the
So
clerk.
we don't know for sure if she has that information. I guess my point is,
It was then she needs to come back and
well,
request
if
it
we're
again.
positive that you've provided her that information, then what you're saying
It-
might make sense, but you don't know for sure whether she has those
What
minutes
she
or
asked,
not.
what she asked for, she received.
So can I have that so that can go into the clerk's file?
You already have all that.
All of it?
Yep. Other than maybe not the appeal, because that came to me.
So can I get a copy of that appeal?
Well, I believe you do have a copy of this, but, because pretty much everything I had went to the clerk and everything from the clerk went to you.
Those terms, that's information that we need anyhow. Why don't we accumulate that information and send her?
That should have been like in a spreadsheet or something all
Well,
along.
that's something, that would be a policy we would need to set. We need to vote on that. and
Why
set
do we have to
policy.
have a policy that says, we want a spreadsheet that
Because-
says, so-and-so joined the planning commission on April 14th.
Because
His
that's
term ends,
Because that's the way the township is supposed to run.
no,
If we need to do something, we need to set a policy.
then let's set a policy.
Well, let's set one.
Let's set a policy
So-
that says that we have to have
Write it
a
up.
sheet.
Have it in writing, and next meeting we will vote on it.
Okay, I will have
That's how
policy.
it works.
So
We're gonna set up a policy that states who comes on the board.
And with their dates. But it's in the minutes, you just have to research it. That'll be a separate document, we'll have to keep log of.
It's not that hard.
I know it's not hard, but it's what we need to do,
So-
but it needs to be done with a policy.
I guess while we're on the topic, and we've got some vacancies on on that board, right?
And,
Do we know who they are, or do we have
The
to wait
vacancy
2 months?
the vacancy, we have Ken Osentowski. You put your name in to come on to the planning commission.
Yep,
Are you still interested?
yep.
Okay. So, we can put that in there.
Well, while we're on the topic,
Just hold on a second. So how long are we stating that Ken is on for? 3 years? Like everybody else was on for 3 years?
No, they're staggered.
which term is he
Some
getting?
are two and 3. And I would have to look at the,
You have to go back
back
to the minute.
to the.
So
notes,
he
look
is,
it up.
is he taking, he would take Mr. Kramer's position, correct?
Yes, and how many years was Mr. Kramer, was 2 or 3, they're.
So I'll have to go back and look to see how front Mr. Kramer's.
was, yes. So, Ken, you're still interested in the planning commission? Okay.
I make a motion that we accept Ken Osentowski onto the planning commission.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, now while we're on that topic, going back in the minutes from the planning commission, when we went from a 9 board back to a 7 board, our attorney said, and I quote, "My gut reaction is it should go back to square one."
Right.
So, the way I take this is we needed to reappoint all those people, and that's what I'm suggesting we do right now to clear this up.
I would have to not do it now, and I have to research that with the attorney, because that was not the township attorney that said that.
Who was it that said that? It's Dave. I'm assuming it's Dave Churchill,
It was Mr. Toner's attorney.
Mr. Toner's attorney.
So let me research that.
Is he the board's attorney?
I can't believe that he is wrong on that. I think that probably is accurate.
Well, from what he told me, because he's the one who called and talked to me because it was done wrong, told me to go back to a 7-member board versus a 9.
Right, I understand that.
So
But that
we
means
had initially voted in those people,
we voted.
and then we
9
added
people,
the 2 more afterwards.
But they were all voted.
They were all voted in, but they were, the initial 7-member board was voted in, and we additionally did the 2 more.
I'm gonna make a motion that we go through the list and reappoint all those people on that planning commission and just be done with it, because
It doesn't work that way. I need to talk with the attorney, because otherwise we may be in another lawsuit. Bottom line.
I guess if I get support and that's what the majority agrees, I guess we're gonna do it then, Rodney.
Okay, put a motion on the floor.
I just did.
What's your motion exactly?
My motion is we need to go back through the planning commission members, and the ones that are still there, we reappoint them. Yes or no? You guys wanna wait, we can wait. If I don't get the support, then that's fine.
Could I ask a question before we do this? When is all these people's terms up?
We don't know, we have to go through.
Yeah,
They're all
they're
staggered.
staggered.
They're staggered.
Some are 1 year, some are 2 years, and some are 3 years.
Well, then if they're appointed to the board now and they're in a 2-year term or a 3-year term, I don't see any reason that you want to reappoint all these people to the board. If they're in a 2-year term, until their 2-year term is up or 3-year term is up, then you're re-elected these boards, and they're all gonna come off at the same time at this time, I would take.
The problem was, is the night we decided to make the change from a 7-member to a 9-member, we were out of line by doing that, so we needed to go back to a 7-member. What had happened is we took 2 people randomly and told them they were off the planning commission. So what I wanna do is go back and reappoint 7 people the right way.
It was not two people taken off randomly. We appointed the 5, then we appointed the 2 more to make it a 9. just took the last two that was pointed to make it 9 off. It was not random, it was just the last two that was put
It
up.
was people you appointed.
Well, I don't care who pointed these.
Yeah,
but
I know, but I see
agree
what
that
you're saying.
You have these term limits.
Right. And
You
then-
cannot eliminate term limits, I know that. You cannot eliminate, so if you're gonna appoint a new board, you've got all the rest of the board, so you could end up with a whole bunch of more board members. Even if you add more board members, you're only allowed 7 board members.
I don't think they're talking about adding more,
No, we're not adding more.
just clarifying the one that exists now.
Well, I was going with the Mr. Supervisor, I had to get your legal documents first before I add it,
I would like to see.
or clean it up.
Yeah,
I would like to see when the terms expired, what terms did expire. It seems awfully funny when we were adding 2 a year, that all of a sudden we had 5 terms.
Yeah.
you weren't adding, a lot of people were just sitting in the seats still. There was nothing in the minutes, we went through every bit of minutes.
Mine was the only term that was expired. Mine would have expired at the end of the year.
Yours was expiring, the other ones had expired, but they were still sitting in the seats because they'd never been reappointed.
That's correct.
So that's why those were so many
I would
vacant
like to
seats.
see, I would like to see some information and then address it. When we see,
I would like to speak with legal counsel before we do that, because it could open us up for a lot of trouble, so.
Do you want to withdraw your motion for right
Well,
now?
it just, if I don't get the support, it just dies. That's
Okay.
So Randy's got a motion on the floor to redo the planning commission members' votes. All in favor?
we never got a second.
Or,
No, second.
second.
On that, so-
It's just dead.
We just did.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, okay. Then on, we didn't finish up this one with Bernadette. Okay, we have to vote on, okay, 200 square foot.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I will talk to you after the meeting. On this FOIA appeals, I would like to put a motion on the floor to deny or uphold the decision on this. And then she can always come back to the clerk and get the information she needs as from the meeting minutes and stuff like that. It's all in there, it's just, she'll have to look for it. We don't have a sheet with that on. So, I put a motion on the floor to uphold the denial.
Let me see that.
See what- This?
I think it's so easy to give her the information she wants.
Well,
Yeah,
most,
we're paying off $2,100 because somebody in the past didn't send.
she's got most of the information, she just needs to sit down and read through it and pull the information out. It's either she can do it herself, or the clerk's gonna have to sit and do it, one of the two.
And that was called an appeal, correct?
Appeal, yeah.
So what you're saying, that the information is there, it's just not there the way she requested?
She requested a form with all that on it, which the township does not track that way as of now. So that form doesn't exist, so we don't have to create a form for it, or
So if she
a document for it.
re-FOIAs this information
And
from the minutes,
Yeah,
then you'll provide it for her?
yeah, actually, if you read her whole thing, most everything what she was given, and most of that information is in what she has already requested. She just has to read through it and get the information out.
she refoils this, she will have the information she needs.
Right, and she refoils it in the correct manner. She's gotta be a little more specific.
She just didn't know what document to ask for.
Well, she asked for a document that didn't exist. And then she asked for the meeting minutes, which she received, but she had to read through them and get all, read through it and get all that information out.
More than likely, she probably figured there was some kind of spreadsheet with it on there.
Probably, yeah. Just something that
It hadn't been done.
we don't track. Right.
Yeah.
So all in favor of
We
the,
need a second first
and do we have a second on that,
to uphold the appeal.
to approve appeal?
I'll second it.
All in favor to uphold the appeal?
Red,
I vote no, but it's, you got a majority.
Okay. The audit, we pretty much discussed that already. Since we don't have a Board of Appeals, I would like to propose that we get one set up so we are in our proper compliance. But we should advertise that in the paper for anybody who would like to put their name in. And so can you handle that, Judy, please?
Chronicle, or do you want it in the Sandusky paper?
We've always done the Chronicle, but, you know,
So basically, it's going to be a member of the planning commission,
will be one,
a member of the board, or is it the supervisor?
it can be, just generally,
Just a
a
member of the board and one other person, so we need to advertise for one.
Basically one person, yes.
That's from our township.
Right, a resident.
Resident of the township.
Okay.
Okay.
So are we going to pick a member from the board tonight then, and then the planning commission to pick
No,
their member?
when we,
I would say do it all at once.
once we get the third name in, all the people that would like to go on to that. Lawn mowing.
Who's been doing it?
Me?
Randy has been, but we should probably advertise that and put it out again.
If we
Just-
advertise it, then we're looking at making a decision 2 months from now.
We're gonna do the same thing we did last year, we're gonna be halfway through the season.
And
Right now, we should
anybody
be
that's,
thinking about advertising for snow plowing.
anybody that's gonna have to come out this far, because when I talked to 2 or 3 different ones last year to tell them that we were gonna be advertising, nobody wants to come out this far. And if Randy's willing to do it,
If Randy's willing to do it, I think we should just let him continue on. He's already started this year.
Okay. Okay.
If we want to advertise for it next year, advertise
We need to do it early enough.
early in the
so
year, so.
we're ahead of it.
Let's put the next meeting start for snow plowing for the next winter.
okay, all right, but for lawn mowing, I'll put a motion on the floor to just let Randy continue. I need a second.
I'll second.
We got a motion on the floor to let Randy continue mowing
Lawns.
lawns. All in favor?
Aye.
We need to discuss his pay here.
Do it for the same price as last year.
Last year, okay.
That bid I put in.
Okay.
You guys are good with that?
So Kenny, that was a yes?
Yes.
Rosie?
Yes.
I know you're abstaining.
I'm not gonna vote.
Judy is yes. Rodney?
No, I would like to see it go out in for a bid, so I'll say no.
Okay.
3,
Yep,
so
so
it passed.
it passed, so.
All right. I'll keep going.
Fire millage renewal and our road millage renewal.
Okay, what had happened with that, I had met with Denise McGuire, the clerk of Sanilac County, and there was nothing put into the works soon enough to be put onto the ballot for August, the August primary. So we have until June to get everything onto the ballot for the November election. Now, there had been talk about lowering the fire millage, and if we do that, whether we lower the percentage or if even any words get changed in it, but by lowering the percentage, it has to be a new millage, it cannot be a renewal.
Now, I had proposed at the annual meeting, and I did run through the numbers again, dropping it down to a $0.5 mil for fire versus 1 mil, but that would barely cover our fire standby cost, barely. And if we have any people that don't pay their bills, and we have to incur that cost, we won't have any money left to cover that cost, and that would have to come out of general fund. So I'm gonna maybe re-propose that a little bit, as in being, maybe go to 0.6 of a mil for fire, and then ask for, on the road millage, or a new road millage with 1.4 mils, so that our taxes won't go up, but our money gets moved around for better usage for our township. Instead of having all this extra in the fire fund that we can't use, and not having enough in the road fund, we have enough for the road fund. More in the road fund.
With the amount that's in the fire fund right now, that should give us enough cushion.
That's what I was gonna
Right.
say, that should be our
And if
cushion.
if that would give us more of an incentive to collect on these fire
Well,
things rather than eat them.
We've been sending, the clerks send bill month after month to these people, and the one, after 5 months, I think one paid and 2 did not. After, I think she went about 8 months on some of them, and they never did pay.
Typically, how much do they cost?
Well,
Or is
it's,
it 500 or
yeah,
something?
but the one was a little bit more for some reason. They were right around, anywhere from $500 to $700, they bet. So, the problem comes in, Ken, is if we don't do it right when we put our millage on now, or ask for our millage, it's gonna be hard to raise it back up later.
How many years is this good for if we change it and go, it's considered a new mill, or 0.5 mil, or whatever we do? How many-
What, 4 years?
Yeah.
4
Yeah,
years?
maybe 4 years, yes.
I think with the cushion we got, we could make the first 4 years.
We've got $72,400 some
Yeah.
dollars.
If we can't make it, then.
How much is a
consider-
yearly standby? How much?
So we gotta add the two of them together, it would come out to, I don't have the numbers in front of me.
I think,
When
Judy,
you
you got it now, I don't.
I'm
when you
thinking
figured
that,
Did you figure the ambulance service with the fire? Because we
No,
talked about,
I didn't have that together in there either, that was just
we
the fire.
talked about passing it for fire and
ambulance
emergencies, or ambulance service, or I don't know.
yeah, that's
how
where
you
the
word
wording of the difference came in.
Yeah.
It would still have to be a new one if we changed it to fire and emergency.
If you do any
vehicle.
changes to it all, we gotta
it. Then we gotta go to the 610.
No, you gotta go up to the.
Yeah, renewal, what I'm saying, but if we went with 0.6 of a mil, like you're saying, would that cover the ambulance too, do you feel?
I would have to see what our ambulance.
Because we've always had an excess here, and like, I
Right,
believe it
yeah.
was Jerry Cleveland said, if you add the ambulance into that, then that's something that wouldn't be coming out of the
General
general
fund.
because there's always been an excess here.
Right, and I didn't figure it that way with the ambulance service center.
That's how we need to do
Something
it.
we
That
need
would
to
go
do,
with
I
general
think.
fund, 'cause
So-
whatever we can put off of
Anytime
that
we-
will help.
Yeah.
We have time before the next meeting, we can still do that at the next meeting.
Good question.
We put the numbers all together.
Just while we're talking about the emergency services, just for the emergency services, they budgeted $3,200. So that would be $3,200, that would come out of that fire fund. I don't really, we'll have to really dig to see, because we might not want to, if we can switch this over and get this out of the fire fund, then we don't want to take the fire fund out. So that one, because we don't want to have to ask for it again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People have a tendency, they will renew it, but they don't want to do it. So,
Yeah, but if we're, that fire fund's been building easy, and we've been giving money away like crazy, and even at a half, I think we should still be comfortable. Because we've given away how much? 35,000 in the last year, and we still got 72,000 and change.
yeah, they won't be giving any more suits, you know.
No, yeah, they got their turnout gear, they're set. I think $500,000, and then we use that as our cushion, it should get us through 40 years. We just maybe be a little more careful, if somebody's asking for a lot of money and for some big ticket items, we just gotta be a lot more careful.
Yeah,
Back off on the big money, yeah.
So do you,
Yeah, what do you do if somebody don't pay their bill?
We, in the past, what we have done is we send them bills for 8-10 months. And usually they're $500 to $700. By the time we go with the attorney's gonna cost us, $2,000. So it's more feasible, to eat it.
The reason I ask you this, I know an individual in Margaret Township, house burned down. He was billed for $7,000. He didn't pay it. When he sold the property, he had to pay it.
Yeah.
He needs to attach to the property.
Yes.
We can,
Are you doing that?
We could do that, but again, legal costs to do that exceeds the $500, way more than the $500 we'll lose by just forgetting.
and we can use money from the fire fund to pay that,
That would be for fire services, I believe we would be able to.
instead of coming out of our general fund.
Yes.
I would think so. So if we have to
Well, that's
pay
where,
somebody delinquent bill,
that's where it comes out of that fund, because it comes from the fire department.
it comes from the fire department, so that fund doesn't pay it if they don't pay it.
I think, Glenn, what happened here is the fire departments weren't having any water collected, so they passed the burden off on
On the townships. That's exactly what is happening. Because I have a friend with the fire department, and that's what he said. They couldn't collect from people, so their money kept dwindling down, so they put the burden on the township, if the township paid for it, and then the township takes the burden if the people don't pay.
If we did run short on the fire fund, we can take from the general to pay that, but we can't take anything from the fire fund.
I don't know how that works. He couldn't
we
sell
don't
it.
want to do that.
Fire bill.
No, but we could, we could use the general fund money we got, that's what it is.
Yes. The general fund can go anywhere. So,
Okay, so back to the fire village. What do we want to do? Are we going to table that to the next meeting? This is May, we have to have it in by,
The next meeting is July. You said it's gotta be in by June.
that's for the primary, for the primary.
It's gonna be in for
August, for
August.
we have enough time.
yeah.
So if it's not due till August, we would have another meeting.
Well,
Yes.
one more meeting.
Yeah, let's put all this.
Find out for sure what our standby, we got standby with Bingham and Elton, right?
And then our ambulance service.
And then the ambulance services would be MMR and Bingham. Right?
Or us all.
Jerry, our ambulance services is MMR and Bingham? MMR out of Cassidy and then Bingham out of Bubbly?
No,
No, just MMR.
just
MMR, okay.
That's what I thought.
We are part owner of the Cassidy Emergency Services, which operates the ambulance. MMR is the agency that's hired.
They're the contractor.
Yeah, there's a contractor, but we own the service. We and 5 other townships in the village of Cassidy, in the village of Gagetown, we own.
So that's where the $3,200 a year.
Your goes to?
Yep.
Okay.
Ken, you had a question?
Yeah. You say this goes for 30, 60, 90 days, 3, 4, 6, 8 months. Do we collect interest or anything after so long or not?
No, we just can't
So
even
we
do
can
it.
borrow $700 for a year?
That's basically what some people are trying to do, yes.
Okay.
Do you call them? say, can you pay $100 to offer a payment plan, something?
We just,
You just
we
send
always
letters.
just kept sending a bill,
Your call.
What if on that we did offer them a payment plan? Please
Exactly,
send,
$100 or something.
$50 a month.
Exactly.
please send monthly installments.
Yeah.
If unable to pay in full, please send monthly.
Well,
Least they can do is bring cookies to the meeting.
most of the time what it is, so people can, definitely afford to pay the bill, and most of the times what happens is they've got reimbursed from their insurance company, and then they just neglect to pay us.
Right.
So that's generally what happens.
Every time I've ever had a fire, they always bill the insurance company and the insurance company pays.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Yeah, but now they don't, the fire department don't bill the insurance company, they bill us, then we have to bill the customer, and the customer's been reimbursed from your fire department, or from their
No,
insurance.
well, maybe we should just start billing their
Should we be
insurance.
billing the insurance company maybe?
Yeah.
Well, we'd have to get, that would be another bunch of records
In
we'd
the
have to
situation
keep.
I meant to you, the insurance company had already paid.
Well, that's what,
They didn't pay.
but if we,
Yeah.
They
it's
didn't
not
bill
that
the
hard to
insurance
find out who their insurance company is.
No,
You call the fire department and say, who's their insurance company?
Right.
Yep,
Maybe that's the next route to
Yeah.
try is.
maybe we'll have to write a policy that that's the way we do it from here on out.
Can you add it to the taxes?
We can, but then it comes, we gotta get all the legal stuff, it's a process, we gotta get with the attorney, we gotta go through court stuff, and then it becomes more of an expense, more than the $500 or $700.
How much money can you spend to collect the $700?
Right.
Well, the cost of putting a lien on this property, it can't be that expensive.
Fire service.
Excuse me about this. Yes, initial cost is gonna cost us money in the beginning to write a policy. I understand it. You don't have a policy. The initial cost of building a policy to do this. But my opinion is, if you build a policy that you collect this money, and these people don't put the policy in effect and have it against their taxes.
So that's, we'll
Write the
we'll
tax-
have
write
to
the
write the
policy.
policy out accordingly, yes.
To afford it against their taxes. If they don't pay the taxes,
Yep.
then if they're in foreclosure, somebody goes to buy this piece of property, they're gonna, whoa, we owe the township this much money for fire protection, plus interest on this, plus legal fees to collect this.
Right.
So this bill would go from $500 to maybe $1,000 that they would owe.
Then they would definitely pay the bill right up front, right away.
You're right.
And we will
You'll
have
look
to,
into a policy that would put it, don't go separate, go against it on their taxes.
I will speak with Mr. Churchill, our township attorney, about writing a policy with all that language in it.
Is there very many outstanding ones right now?
Just, there's two that they haven't paid. The one gentleman he submitted his bill that we sent to him, to his insurance company, and it took a while, his insurance company paid him, and then he paid us.
So you have one left.
So there's two left out of the three.
And that's in my records.
Yep. Okay, other?
Okay, we got some of these things I think we need to consider.
So we're gonna make a decision, we're gonna table the fire millage until the next meeting, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Rodney,
Yes.
I've got a guy here that would like to talk to the board about a building permit.
Okay.
Can we make, I don't know, these
TJ
lights we
from-
turned on over there?
Can you turn that light switch on back there, please?
TJ's from, the old colony house,
Okay,
some
yeah.
meeting.
I just came in tonight, and I don't know if this was, he said it was coming tonight, so I came in tonight. We'd like to build a sign on our property,
You'd like to build a what?
a sign on our
Put a
property.
sign up?
A commercial
Okay.
sign on our property, and I have the application and stuff to do that, and all the dimensions and stuff. So I wanted to bring it before you guys and see if we could get it approved for construction.
One, that will be, the planning commission would need to look at that, make sure all your setbacks are all correct and everything. And then also, you would have to have your, from the state, because that would be, they have to approve all that also before you can.
I spoke with the state, and we're within all the guidelines, and we don't need to have any state approval.
Okay, you're far enough off from the road right away and stuff.
You
Okay.
put it on, you put it on the building.
What's that?
You put it on the building?
It's not on the building, no, it's out in the property.
Of the lawn. So you're past the state setbacks and all that?
Correct.
And you have a document showing, to show the planning commission that you have that?
I have a document showing the setbacks and stuff, and I spoke with the MDOT. I mean, I'm sure I can get it, but they said they basically don't even need to be involved.
Well, yeah, but just, it'd be nice to make sure that you have a document stating that you spoke with MDOT, and they said it's all, you're far enough back and stuff. Just give the planning commission a little more reassurance that they're doing everything correctly too.
He would like to get going.
Yep. Planning commission meets in a couple of weeks, month from tonight. We just gotta have our paperwork trail.
Doesn't the planning commission know what the setbacks are?
They would, but they would have to approve that, redo the setbacks and make sure it all complies with our ordinance.
Because I said, if they know, probably gonna have to get something from the state.
Just so that the township knows, because that's a state highway, and I know there's a lot of regulations on signs, and I don't know the laws on it. Because even, they have to even have their own signs all licensed. So, it's the way it is.
When is your meeting?
1 month from tonight.
And is there anything, so I'm kind of on a timeline as far as the way I'm purchasing the sign. I can purchase the sign the purchase price of the sign is much less if I purchase the sign before the day of June 1st.
That would be Mr. Mitchell, if you would like to put your planning commission together and have a special meeting sooner, so you can look at that.
Or the acting zoning administrator can do that.
Yes. But I'm sure he would want the backing of the whole board.
I'd like the backing of your board.
As long as it's all in compliance with your board. It's got to go through your board before it comes to here.
The sign falls within all of the guidelines and requirements of the township and the state.
So,
We have a quorum.
I was just gonna say, you got everybody
Here.
here.
yeah, I think you got most of the planning commission members here.
Grant's here, Kevin's here,
Jason's here.
Jason's here,
Mike's here.
Mike's here, Ken, you're here, and Keith's here.
Would everybody
Ken's
be
here.
willing to, after this meeting, just sit down and look it over and get this man moving?
Yep.
All right, after this meeting's over, we'll take a look at
Mr.
it.
Reader, you,
Well, that's the way to do it.
Thank you,
Get
guys.
rid of the red tape.
yep.
Thank you.
Okay, just going to approval, motion needs to be made to get Lori off the signs and get going with business.
Okay, now folks, we've got with the changing of the treasurer and the clerk, we need to do a motion for the switching to take the previous clerk off the checking account and put the new clerk and treasurer on the checking account and take Ken Brown off the checking account. I put that motion on the floor.
I'll second it.
Ken, a second. All in favor? That motion carried.
Okay, routine bills then, so that.
Okay, we'll need to do approval of the routine bills as,
No, because we were still kind of getting them in and stuff.
the routine bills would be payroll and our monthly electric bills and stuff like that.
Yeah, there are some newspapers ads for the election that we need to pay.
That would be not a routine bill, because it's not every month.
I would make a motion to pay the routine bills, the monthly routine bills, and then anything else we can bring it up at the
Okay,
next meeting.
okay, yeah.
You made that motion?
I make a motion we pay the routine bills, and any others we put off till the next meeting, and we will.
Okay, there's a motion on the table to pay the routine bills. And then our other bills we will bring up at our next meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Second.
Yeah, got that one.
I don't.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that.
Okay, take this one.
You wanna put that on the table?
Yeah, we have to come up with a mailing address instead of, treasurer going to Rosie, and, some stuff coming to me, some stuff going to Rosie. We will either use, the new township hall address, or we will get a post office box, whichever the board decides they want us to do. That way the mail is all in one place. Both Rosie and I are in town every day, so the mail will be checked every day. It's not going to somebody's house, it's not getting lost at somebody's house. It'll just be all taken care of in one spot. So I put a motion on the board, or on the floor, to either go with a post office box or the new hall address.
You're making a motion, say, specify what you'd rather have.
Oh, your post office box if you're in town.
Yeah, the post office box,
And that's-
they're not
They're
expensive.
$30-some, I think.
Yeah, they're not
For
expensive.
a year.
And we can get a big one, and that way everything will go there, all the incoming tax bills and everything will go into one spot. And that way we have, it's not changing all the time, and because, I mean, Louie's still getting stuff, Judy's still getting stuff, and,
Yeah, and I'm moving stuff for you guys all the time.
and, yeah, Lori's giving us stuff, I mean, that's soon,
Should
but
make a motion that we have a
post office box, yep, yep.
All in favor of a post office box? Aye.
Who seconded it, Ken? Okay, the next one then is voting address. I am making a motion again that, and we have enough time, that for the August primary, we will vote in the new hall.
Specify what the address is.
6453 Bay Street, Forestville Road.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nay.
Ken?
Aye.
Rosie's an aye. Randy's an aye. Ken's an aye. Bobby's an aye. And Judy's an aye. Passed. Okay. And then, one more item. There's an email that is supplied through the county. I met with,
It's supplied through the state.
okay, through the state, excuse me. It's through, but you can access it through the county website. I had a meeting the other day with Denise McGuire. She is, for anybody who doesn't know who Denise McGuire is, she is the Sanilac County Clerk. And in my meeting with her, she strongly suggested that our township board have another email besides that state email. She mentioned it several times in my 2-hour meeting with her, just so that the board members can all have access to it. That email through the state is supposed to be for election business only. So if I have to contact the state for election business, it's a private election secured website only. It's not for general use. So we can have a Gmail account for everybody on the board at no cost. You can access it on your smartphone, you could access it on a computer, your work computer, wherever. You can get it from anywhere. You don't have to be sitting at your desk or at your home to access it if you're on vacation or whatever. So my motion is to allow me to set up emails through Gmail for everybody on the board, whether we have just one joint email, or if we want one, like say if we have, Rodney has his own, Rosie has her own, or I have my own, and the trustees have their own, or we can just have it as, you know, say, I don't know how the wording would have to be, because until I go to set it up on Gmail, but, you know, Greenleaf Township Board @gmail.com. You know, it's whatever you guys want, but Denise could not stress enough that we need to do that.
I would say we should have a general board one
Okay.
that comes to everybody.
Yeah.
If somebody
Yes.
emails the township, it goes to the full board.
It goes to
agree
the
with
full
that.
board. I think so too.
I think the intention is that it needs to be kind of an open forum for the board. So
Right.
it should be one,
Right.
and everybody would have the password for it or
Right,
whatever. you know.
okay. So, I mean, I'll make it a Greenleaf Board or, whatever I can get it under what's not being used at Gmail.
Yeah.
So I need a motion for that.
I think you just made the motion.
Okay.
I second that.
All in favor of doing a single email account for the township board?
Aye.
Okay.
Question on your last motion. When was the warehouse approved for occupancy?
It's not a warehouse, and we can go
I'm asking
in,
the
No,
supervisor.
listen, we're not even
gonna go there right now.
taking comments from the floor right now.
Let's
so
go on with business.
Let's keep moving.
Okay, the next one, Randy, is the summer tax bill order and return address for the payments. So the return address will be the new post office box.
Yes.
And then I don't really know, I think that's that paper that, Rosie, the summer tax bill order, isn't that paper that you have to send back?
Yeah, I sent it back.
You sent it back, okay, so
Yeah.
that one's
That was for the receipts and all that, yeah, I sent
And
it
road
back.
building.
We discussed already.
Approval of size duties, the zoning ordinance. Okay, that we kind of talked about, never do that, never do that one. Zoning administrator.
Fire millage.
Did Dennis, Janet, send you in a letter yet? No, okay, all right, he couldn't remember if he sent it in, so I'll let him know that he needs to get sent in.
Do you know if anyone else is interested in that?
Zoning administrator,
The zoning administrator was, Mr.
I mean, do we have,
Daniels. It was Mr. Daniels and, Mr. Guzzo.
so we got three of them.
does Gouza still want it?
The last time he said no.
Oh, okay.
So he
How many candidates do we actually have in county general?
was Mr.
Daniels?
Mr. Daniels did not state to me one way or the other to me which way he wanted to go with that,
Okay,
so.
okay, we might have to get in touch with him.
Let's,
And the fire millage.
Fire millage, and road millage we discussed already.
Okay, this new election code. When I met with Denise the other day also, we do not have a choice. The state is mandating that we have new election equipment. It's gonna cost roughly $3,000. I am going the 25th of May down to Sandusky. Denise has narrowed it down to 2 systems of what she wants all the township clerks to see. One system is the same as what we've been using from electronic source, or
Election source.
election source, and then there's another company. But she wants us to see the 2 different ones and help her make the decision. She has already told me, though, that she's kind of still wanting to stay with the election source just because she's worked with them for so long, and their people actually work with the voting equipment. So,
And believe me, you'll want to stay with the election source, because whenever there was an issue, Lori was able to contact them and help. they
yeah,
helped her with
that's,
it, so.
you know, so, but we will have to pay probably close to $3,000, and there's no ands, ifs, or buts. There's no, at the beginning of the year, there was state funding to do this, and the state has recently pulled that funding back. So, but the state is mandating us, so we don't have a choice. And I'll know even more on May 25th about that.
And this has got to be paid by.
She didn't say, and she said, if they go with that election source, they are really good. She says they'll probably let you do like a pay to lease, or lease to pay, so that you don't have to pay the full $3,000 at one time. So. The election board, And that's something, I know there's already a policy in place for them.
You have to put your election board together.
Yeah, we have to put our election board together, and I'm working on that. I've called some of the ones that have always been on it, that were in the last election too, and just waiting to hear back from everybody to see who wants to continue on. And then I have a couple new people that, if we don't have enough, they will join on. So, because they all have to go to election training also.
Do you have a deputy?
No, not yet. We have to do that because I cannot be there that night, that day of the elections. So somebody else will have to run it.
I'm just asking if you appointed a deputy clerk.
No, not yet, I have not. I have not.
Okay. Sale of the Van Dyke property, the planning commission is working on that, they're putting some numbers together, they're gonna get the property appraised and stuff.
Okay.
So they're working on that, I know that. Okay, that's pretty much got your list done.
Yep, and if there's any other new business.
Okay, any other new business? The only other thing I have is on the winners suit against the township. You got the letter from, sent to both of you?
I got it.
And did you get back with him right away? Let him know what your thoughts were? Okay. Basically,
That's something we need to discuss as a board, how we want to proceed.
well, that was, basically what he's saying is, he just wanted to let you know to move, because they're moving forward, that we need to move forward a little bit, and he wants to do a little discovery. And that is pull some documents to see what, what actually is right and what's actually wrong, so.
So what exactly is he doing? Is he proceeding on?
He's gonna proceed on with just some basic, he doesn't wanna spend a ton of money, he wants to keep it very economical as possible for the township. So he's going to just do some minimal discovery and then discuss it with Mr. Winter's attorney. Is what he said, and then we'll go from there.
Is there any way we can set up a meeting with this attorney?
Probably.
Board members could sit down with him?
I'd have to have a special meeting, because if we're gonna sit down and discuss and talk like that, then we gotta have a,
No, I'm saying the board go to his office, sit down, talk with him. As long as we don't call a meeting to order, make any decisions, just kind of question and answer.
An executive meeting.
That could be a closed door meeting.
could be opposed, yeah.
I mean, you're talking with something of that type of nature, that could be a closed door meeting.
Actually, he suggested maybe even, if we could, maybe at the meeting do maybe a closed meeting and have a teleconference where he would be on the telephone with a video phone.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, we'd have to do it someplace
We'd
that,
have to set it up.
yeah, we could set up someplace in town that's got,
Could you set it up at your place?
I would say at the library.
the library would
The
probably,
library?
the library would probably be the best place,
That
because that way,
would save us from driving and save him from driving.
but I would like to know, what kinds of things he's gonna need before the meeting. If he could give us some kind of.
Oh, he probably doesn't need anything from us, he's gonna need to get it from Mr. Winter.
I think he's just asking for some direction at this
Okay,
point.
okay.
Yeah, what he's looking for is.
My interpretation was he wants to know whether we want to fight this, we want to go to a mediator,
No,
pay up,
what he was wanting to do is to know, from what I read is, it's moving forward no matter what, is, our discovery, what he wants to do is discovery, saying he's claiming this much distress and this much financial burden. There's no proof. So he wants that proof to say, okay, so he's gonna pull his tax record probably for the past 12 years. He's gonna pull all his medical records. And what he's claiming better match his medical records.
I think we better discuss this in a closed also.
And that's about all as further as he said he was gonna be doing, so.
Let's set something up and try and get that teleconference.
Okay.
Let me know,
Yep.
I can see if I can get the library and see if we can
Yep.
set up there.
Okay. All right.
Do you use the new building?
I got something to add. Let's have our next meeting at our building. We're gonna change the address, let's do it.
Because
We
according
can
to.
invite our building codes there guy, he said for $50, he said we can have a meeting. We'll, tell him what we envision, how we're gonna use that building, and if he has recommendations, he'll offer them at that time. So, I also wanna include, let's, allocate about $1,000 for some paint and some little bit of maintenance around there before that next meeting, so that's my motion.
Well, while we're doing that, let's allocate some money and put a little bit of money into this building too.
No, that's not in the motion.
So that we can preserve this building, because this is our township history here.
There is some history here.
I don't think so.
It is our
What do you
history.
see as far as expenses that we actually need?
Paint, really, maybe if we find a few little odds and ends, just so we got it up to $1,000. Put some crack fill in the parking lot, that sort of thing.
Well, I think if we just, we can move all of this furniture and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we'll have furniture, maybe a few odd pieces of furniture.
Maybe a couple
Couple
of
of
chairs.
The only thing that would need to be painted, it'd be nice to throw a coat of paint on an office.
Well, that's
What
what
would
we're
that
talking.
cost, do you believe?
A little 5-gallon bucket of paint, do it all in one color,
5-gallon bucket of paint.
between $100 and $150, you get something decent.
I'd be willing to
Paint
donate
supplies.
the paint for that.
And that, I can clean the carpets and refinish the floors, I'll donate that. Not the big floor, but without the tile floors. There's not a lot of expense.
Not really, I don't think we need to allocate any.
We talked about maybe some shelving to store records on, that sort of thing, so they're more organized. We could probably come up with something for that too.
I think, if I talk to, Dave, I'm thinking that he might have a little bit of wood maybe that he would let me donate for some shelving.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna withdraw.
He said no.
Giving away his good stuff. You just gave away all your good material you were saving.
That's about $6 a board floor.
Oh, he's not giving that. So let's not spend any money on it, we'll just, for what we need to get going, we'll just use donations and we'll roll up our
You
sleeves.
set a date up if somebody wants to come help?
Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll set up a couple Saturdays or something, we'll have some work days, we'll all pitch in and we'll spiff it up.
Randy, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Why are you asking this board for permission when you didn't ask to redo the grates in the building over there and ask the board that question before?
Why wasn't all these specifics about this building before? It was, you're sitting here discussing $1,000 bill, but you approved $230. Now, the one in Akron, we rented
This is
it.
all hash.
I got a motion on the floor, do I have a second?
So you're just letting certain people in the audience talk? Is
That's
that
the way
it?
it's always been.
I'm not gonna argue with
There'll
you.
be
Not
public
gonna
comment at
argue.
the end.
What's your motion, Randy?
My motion is that we hold our next regular meeting at the Bay City Forestville property. In the meantime, we'll do a few improvements based on donations and in time and material. And we will invite building codes from Sanilac County to that meeting. He expressed interest of attending that meeting. He would ask for a $50 payment to attend that meeting, and then at that time he would offer recommendations based on how we perceive we're going to utilize that building, whether we need to make any modifications or not.
Are you second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
So the planning commission doesn't have any input into this building?
They're supposed to have all the input in it.
Why aren't we?
I don't know. So, public comment, please.
I hope you people can set, you know, when you go home at night, you lay your head down on your pillow with your conscience.
I hope you do too.
I do, I have a very clear conscience.
Norm, let me address that.
Just a minute, I'm talking, please. I rented the hall in Akron when my dad died here a little while ago. I was wrong. It's like 3,000 square foot. I said 7, I corrected, it's 3,000. $100. Now, do you folks want to spend $300 and some odd $1,000, make a hall of that caliber for $100 now and then?
No.
That's the point. You don't even have money for the road, and you know that's all I'm getting at.
We just want a hall to have meetings, and we don't want to put a bunch of money into that to rent it out to get $100. Now, Norm, there's something you gotta understand. When you sit on a board like this, and you have to make decisions, you're not gonna make everybody happy. It's a given, no matter what decision you make, somebody's gonna be bent or shaken.
This one should have been brought to the public.
Now, we've got a lot of good people that have wanted to have a new township hall. Very respectable people. All right, and then we've got a lot of people against this that has no respect for no one. So,
Excuse me? Be that
Hey, he's talking.
which people do you think we're gonna try to please here? I had a lady come up to me as soon as I was voted onto this board. She said, "There's one thing I hope you can do when you get on that board. Just get us a hall with a bathroom in it." She said, "I worked the voting," and she said, "That's a long day over there with no bathroom."
I understand that, but you're hearing what I'm saying. You got $250,000 into that, or you're gonna have another $250,000.
We're not gonna put another $250,000.
So you're gonna have a warehouse.
No, we're not gonna put another $250,000 into that.
Where you come with $250,000 into it?
Now? That's 230, you got that right now, right?
No, you just said you're gonna put another $250,000 into it.
You got a big warehouse there. You got a big blank warehouse, right? Am I right? Is it a big blank warehouse?
Yes.
What is it? What is it?
Nowhere else right now.
You can put semis in it.
It's a warehouse. That's all it is a warehouse.
And
To remodel it, it's like $100 a square foot.
And one other thing we're gonna have to do to that building very soon is we're gonna have to seal the roof, because there is leaks everywhere. And
We'll see about that.
I got another question. To the supervisor, are the clerk's minutes, are they official documents that the clerk's writing right now?
Once they're approved, yes.
Should they be in pencil or in an ink pen?
For right now, they're her notes.
These are notes.
She will write the official.
I will type them up on a computer, so they will be in typewritten black on paper.
And they'll be ready.
Supervisor, why is the clerk being so belligerent?
I'm not being belligerent. All right, motion on the floor to adjourn. Do you have a preference on paper, Norm? Kenny asked me to ask you, would you like it on white paper, cream paper, or linen paper?
We're disrespecting our residents that they pay our wages.
Exactly. We need to remind you that you work for us. You don't work for us.
You know what? I know I work for you. I know I work for you. But you guys can show a little respect too.
We do, we do, and you need to show some respect on how you spend our tax dollars, which you have not done.
Yes.
We've still got
something else.
We've still got stuff here.
Is it public comment still?
When you lay your head down on your pillow tonight, folks,
I am going to sleep.
did you spend our money the right way? Did you spend our money appropriately? Did you do that? Close.
The money's already been spent.
Okay, you can live with that.
I can live with it. I think it's a good.
The next township over has a brand new, a 20-year-old building, and their utilities are $100 a month. That's what their utilities
Okay,
are.
I'm gonna make one comment, okay?
Move.
Listen, The last two elections have all been about this building, and we have 75% support. That's all I'm gonna say.
Amen.
You're 75% support.
Yeah, you're
Is that how it
75.
goes?
They
Randy?
should have came and voted then.
Yeah. You know why they don't? Because they're disgusted with the way things are going in this township.
We are? I do have a question.
Let's have a handful who wants to know.
We're not doing that. We got a comment, somebody's been patiently waiting,
I have
and
a
I got a letter to
question.
read.
Okay, I have a question for Ken. My question to you is, are you going to have respect for Judy because she came in on a recall?
Oh, that's right. You can't respect someone in on a recall.
Because I have your quote in the Cassidy
Yes, I will,
paper.
because she didn't initiate.
We have a quote on Tuscola County paper too.
Oh, Randy initiated that. So you don't have any respect for him now?
No, I'm saying,
So you're saying that this quote here that says, we hold an election every 4 years to fill this position. If someone is interviewed in the position and wins the general election, I will work with them and respect them 100%. If someone gets into office through a recall, I will have a hard time respecting them. Quotes, Cassidy paper.
good for you, Christine.
Yeah, good for you for quoting that in the Cassidy paper.
Kenny,
I put that in
That's a
kitchen
lot of
walls.
time on your hands. You got that laminated too?
On your kitchen
I
walls.
do. It's for my grandkids someday when I tell them all the stuff that I did.
All the press.
Okay, we got a letter. We're gonna keep moving on
You
here.
put it on your kitchen wall?
From Sheriff Konecki. It says, "Dear Board, if you recall on January 21st, 2016, while attending the Greenleaf Township General Meeting, during public comment, a citizen in the audience publicly questioned me. She asked why the dispatcher never sent a deputy to check on a township resident who had a trespasser on her property and feared for her safety. I sought more information from her as I needed more facts and a better understanding of the circumstances. She then stated that this person was a personal friend and then again asked why the deputy refused to respond. In an attempt to gain more specific details, I asked to meet with her after the meeting and even provided her my business card prior to leaving the meeting and asked her to call me the next day. After waiting and not receiving a call from her, I took the initiative calling her on her phone and left a message to call me in regards to the alleged incident, again leaving my contact information at that time of writing, so has not called back. In light of the lack of cooperation from the citizen, rest assured that I have researched the possible variations surrounding the information so presented in the meeting and checking on whether the dispatcher refused to send a deputy, the deputy refused to respond, or whether it could have been assigned to the state police. After looking deeper into the matter, I was not able to validate the incident. So she evidently brought up at a meeting that the meeting never took place. Given the lack of evidence and cooperation, I consider the matter virtually and respectfully ask for this letter to be read at the Board of Public Comment for the benefit of the community and the citizens. Sheriff Konecki.
Who was the person in question?
I don't even remember for sure.
Good question, Randy.
Right.
You don't remember who that was?
Some of the meetings, there's a lot going on. I don't really catch everything that's going on.
Do you remember who that was? You're the one with the video camera. You don't remember that?
It was me, okay?
Oh, okay. All right.
And the reason I did not contact him is because I did not want her harassed. Because if they're not doing their job the first time, do you think they're gonna do their job the second time?
Why wouldn't you respond to him anyways?
Because I didn't want her threatened.
Respond to Sheriff Nick.
That is exactly what I
Are
said.
we done with her?
She ended up going to the state police, so.
No, this is going to be after the planning commission reviews of it.
So, do you want me to, well then, Mr. Reader,
We don't have to vote on that.
We don't vote on that. The planning commission has to.
We have to close our meeting.
Right, that's the only thing we got.
Question, Supervisor, has there been an occupancy at we've been granted an occupancy.
I have not received an occupancy permit yet, no.
Mr.
Then we're breaking
Bowerman,
the law when we're going in the building.
no, we're not. Mr. Bowerman
I'm
told
talking to the
me,
supervisor.
and I'm answering.
You're
Mr.
not
Bauer, I
supervisor.
don't care.
It's on the
Mr.
record,
Bowerman
it's on the
told
record that
me-
the supervisor said that it is not approved for occupancy.
Mr.
Let that be on the record.
Fine,
You are not the
I'm gonna
supervisor.
write it in pencil too.
Calm down, people, calm down.
Not supervisor.
Did he basically tell you what I should have already said?
Yes,
Okay.
Mr. Bowerman told me that he will give, we don't need an occupancy permit, that when he comes there, the first meeting, he will tell us then.
But our lawyer said that we need one beforehand. Our attorneys advise us of that.
I'm gonna take the side of the county guy. If he's gonna tell us we can have a meeting and he'll come to that meeting, then that's what we're gonna go with.
You want to attend?
Okay, it's on the record.
Mr. Coughlin, did you have a comment you wanted to?
They're still working on it, I don't know if they will get to the bottom of it or not.
Do they still have the same amount of dogs, Mr.
They got
Coughlin?
more.
More?
And there's no kennel license?
Last time I called the courthouse, they only had 15 individual dog licenses.
And they can only get 3?
Well, according to your ordinance, they can only have 3 dogs,
Yes.
2 horses, which eliminates the goats, the chickens, the ducks, the dogs, everything else is on the property. And they have no place to disperse the manure.
She's already admitted to having, 15 licensed dogs. It doesn't matter whether they're licensed or not, I mean, because she's got too many. So she's documenting herself
Yep.
that she in fact has 15 dogs there, which is over. So if she
Over
wants
our
to,
ordinance, yes.
exactly, so if she wants to have 15 dogs and raise puppies for resale, she needs to get a commercial kennel license. And then everything will be fine and she'll be left alone and there won't be any problems.
Correct. And that is then governed by the state and the county. They do the inspections on that, where that keeps us out of the liability of that.
Exactly. It goes beyond Greenleaf Township.
So that's,
Why she hasn't pursued that long ago is a mystery.
okay. Any other public comment? Okay. Make a motion to adjourn.
I make the motion, we adjourn the meeting.
Second?
All in favor to adjourn?
Aye.
Okay.